Hey everyone, Jake here from Superstroke, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to regrip your clubs at home. So I've got an old vintage set of Arnold Palmer blades here that I'm going to throw some brand new Superstrokes on, and the first thing you need to do is just hop on over to Superstroke's website and pick yourself up a regrip kit, which looks something like this. And inside that kit is going to be a rubber shaft clamp for your vise at home, as well as some strips of grip tape here and a bottle of grip solvent. On top of that, as I mentioned, you will need some sort of clamping device, so whether that's just a clamp to a table, a vise like this in your garage, or one of those kind of cool like Benchmate things that they have. On top of that, you'll also need a hook blade. So the hook blade is used to remove the old grip. The hook blade is necessary over just a standard blade so that you can get under the grip and rip away from yourself. And then some sort of heat device is also very useful, and I'll show you why in just a second here. So let's take our old Arnold Palmer vintage blade here. You can see, got it from Goodwill. And we're just gonna rip the old grip off. That's the first thing we gotta do. So some of these can be more challenging than others, but take your hook blade, make sure you're cutting away from yourself, please. Slip it under the old grip collar, start that cut a little bit, and then you can kind of just pull away from yourself, just like that. And as long as you've got a nice sharp hook blade, you're not going to have any problems cutting through that old grip. And then from there, you just need to peel off the old grip, which sometimes can take a second depending on the age of the grip as well as the tape underneath. That one came off fairly easy, so this is just going to go in the garbage. And now we have to deal with the old tape. And this is absolutely the worst part of regripping clubs, is dealing with the old tape. But you do want to make sure that you remove this old tape and give yourself a clean surface to work with. So that's where our heat source comes in handy. I'm going to use a blowtorch. You can use a smaller micro butane torch, just like this one, or you can use a heat gun or a hair dryer. But we just want to heat up the tape enough that the adhesive loosens up, but not so much that we're just burning the tape off for the sake of burning it off, because that ends up making a sticky, gluey, nasty mess that nobody likes to deal with. Just a word of caution here as well. I'm changing these out on a set of irons, and these irons have steel shafts in them. So as you heat up the steel shaft, it's going to get very, very hot. So just make sure that you're careful with your fingers here. After you've heated it up, now we have to go through the slightly annoying process of taking off the old tape. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll rejoin you guys back here once I am finished. All right, now that we've finally got all that old tape off, which I promise you is the most annoying part of this entire thing, I got a little tip for you. So take some grip solvent and spray it on this shaft, because you'll notice that there's probably going to be a little bit of adhesive left over. So just take the grip solvant and an old towel and just wipe all of that old adhesive off. Just make sure that when you do this, you're also making sure to create a dry surface. So you want to make sure that all the solvent we just put on there comes off, because any solvent left on the shaft is going to cause issues when we put the new tape on for the new grip. Then we need to take our vise clamp, throw it around this shaft. And what's cool about these clamps is they actually have these little wings on the side, and they sit perfectly in a vise just like this or any other clamping device. And then we just want to make sure that our club is square in the vise, and then feel free to just really wrench down on that bad boy. You're not going to hurt the clubs. That's what the rubber clamp is there for. And then from there, we just need to take one of our strips of tape out of the kit, just like that. And then I peel off the plastic side of the backing first, and then you can go ahead and peel off one of the two sides of paper, just like that. And then go ahead and line this up on your shaft, leaving just about a 1/16 of an inch over the end of the shaft. And then you want to make sure that that gets set on there smoothly. And then reaching underneath to pull the tape, you want to pull the tape up to the other side to make those two halves marry up. When you do this, make sure that you're pulling nice and tight so that you smooth out any wrinkles. If you have any wrinkles in the tape, you are actually going to feel that through the grip, especially with something like an S-Tech or an undersized grip. In our case, we're using some SuperStroke Traction Cross Comforts here, which I'm going to throw on right now. These do have a spine in the back, so we have spine technology on these grips. So you want to make sure that that spine is face down for proper alignment in the hands. And then all we need to do is take our grip solvent. I like to take a bunch and spray it inside the grip, just like this. Feel free to be pretty liberal. There's plenty in here for your entire set. And then make sure that you also spray some onto the tape itself. The more lubrication you have, the easier this is going to be. And then I just shake up that solvent inside the grip, let the excess solvent drip out onto the tape just like that. And then in one fluid motion, you want to go up on the shaft and slide that bad boy over the tape, just like that. Let's double check that we are properly aligned with our club head, and then go ahead, pull this out of the vise. We're gonna give it a couple good taps on the ground, not too hard, just enough to make sure that we're seated all the way to the end of the shaft here. Take our clamp off, and then we can use our towel, just clean up the ends, get rid of that excess solvent that came out. And then we want to let this dry for about 20 to 30 minutes before we go on course and play it. And then you're ready to go. You've got your new clubs, super easy to do at home. No reason to pay somebody else to do it for you. Pick up a re-grip kit and then the other couple of essentials. You're good to go. There's a little bit extra in there as well in case you got any buddies that want to do any upgrades to their grip as well at home. So again, super easy to do at home. Head over to SuperStroke's website, pick up the tools and the grips that you need for your game. Get those clubs re-gripped with some fresh, awesome new tacky grips. Get out on the course, shoot lower scores.